Telogen effluvium. So here's what you need to know. So telogen effluvium can come from many different things. One is you mostly hear about it after a woman have a baby, and once the baby is conceived, then the woman will go through a shedding phase anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Now we're even seeing it even longer for up to 12 months. You can experience telogen effluvium from taking certain medications, and we'll get into that. Telogen effluvium can come from a stressful environment. Telogen effluvium can also happen because of a nutrient deficiency. So there's many different causes of telogen effluvium. And what does it really mean to have telogen effluvium? Telogen effluvium means that your hair is in a shedding phase. So you're going to notice that your hair is shedding. When you lay down, you may wake up and you may see hair on the bed. You're combing or you're brushing your hair and you're seeing excessive amounts of hairs. Now, granted, your hair is supposed to shed anywhere between, they say, 50 to 120 strands, but you know what your normal is. And when things starts to kick up and ramp up and you're seeing more hair loss and more shedding, that's a sign that you may be experiencing telogen effluvium. Now, I hear this a lot with clients who have also taken a certain shot, and that particular shot have pushed their hair in a telogen effluvium phase. You want to keep in mind that when we're getting certain shots, the shots is also having an effect on the immune system. So anything that is going to have an effect on your immune system, that can put your hair in a state to where it can cause shedding, because then the immune system starts looking at the hair follicles as a foreign substance. It's going to attack your hair follicles, thus for shedding. So here are some of the things that I found when I'm doing testing for clients that have telogen effluvium. So I can definitely say that we see low ferritin levels. You need ferritin, which is your stored iron, to actually help with the hair growth cycle. It also helps to fight off inflammation. So let's say if the immune system is having an effect on your hair follicles, we definitely want your ferritin and your iron levels to be at an adequate number, because it's also going to support those areas. When I'm looking at the immune system, I'm looking at your white blood cells, but I'm also looking at something that's called lymphocytes, neutrophil levels, to see, okay, how are these numbers? How are your platelets? Are your platelets elevated? Then we're looking at gut health too. Now, there is a rise of clients that will come in and we do testing and we look at the gut health, and we're seeing a lot of leaky gut, which is causing the body not to absorb certain nutrients that's vital for hair growth. Parasites is on the rise. So if I'm seeing a lot of nutrient deficiencies, the first thing I'm going for to see is, okay, how is this person's eosinophil levels? Is it high? That's one marker that's going to give me an indication that there may be parasites, and that we may need to take you through a parasite cleanse so they can stop feeding off of you, and so that your body can actually get the nutrients. Second, one thing that I noticed with gut health is H. pylori. H. pylori is something that we really don't talk about. Why? Because it's something that they don't test for. But here in our clinic, because the focus is functional medicine, I want to be able to do all the testing possible to see what is happening and what's causing this telogen effluvium. Another thing is, what they'll tell you is that when you're on certain prescriptions, some doctors will say, oh, that definitely could not cause your hair to shed. Well, what I always like to tell clients is that you did not participate in the study when the drug makers were making these medications. Thus, for the side effects that listed typically does not apply to you. So taking new medication can be a very high possibility to trigger telogen effluvium. So some of the things that you want to do when you are experiencing this, you don't want to start taking a whole bunch of supplements, because then you're just like throwing everything at it and you really don't know what's contributing to it. You're not getting down to a root cause or putting a protocol into place or taking the appropriate step actions. So blood testing is going to be very important. You also want to make sure that you're being well hydrated. You want to make sure that you're eating a lot of fruit. That is going to increase your insulin levels as well as your A1C levels, people, and that's just not accurate. We need to have a high fruit diet, as well as getting in the right type of greens that's going to help to support your body, and it's going to help with your lymphatic system and also gut health. And seeing a professional so that you can get on a right plan. Okay, so let's talk about recovery. So recovery is going to depend upon what was the initial initial cause that triggered the telogen effluvium. So let's say it's something as far as like we found parasites and it's affecting your gut. So not only do we have to put you on a parasite cleanse that can take anywhere between like 60 to 90 days to really clear out the parasites, but we also have to be able to put the nutrients back into your system, because that's vital to help to support a healthy hair follicle, to get the hair back into the hair growth cycle. So we're talking about anywhere between 6 months time frame that the shedding should definitely stop if you are on the right protocol. All right, so when is it time to see a specialist for telogen effluvium? It's time to see a specialist, like I said, when you are brushing or combing your hair, or you're seeing excessive hair fall on the floor more than normal. That's when it's time to seek help from a professional. You want to be able to catch it in its early stages so that you can get on the right plan as soon as possible, because typically what telogen effluvium does is that it can start off slow, but it can progressively get worse.